Okay, we're back. Welcome back to the fitting room.
Okay, so I have a question. If I'm Sir Yappington, what does that make you?
Oh, if you're Sir Yappington, what do I want to be? Do I want to be a lady? Do I want to be like a duchess? Princess? Queen?
Yeah, why not go there?
Queen Yapsalot?
Queen Yapsalot.
Or Duchess. Actually, I want to be Duchess because when I was little, we had a German Shepherd, and her name was Duchess. We had a German Shepherd named Duchess when I was young, and she got fucking stolen out of the backyard. She also famously bit our mayor. She was a fucking badass bitch. Like, literally.
That was an inside job. They were after Duchess.
I think that they actually were. Yeah, it's like a whole thing. But anyways, yes, Duchess Yapsalot. That's me.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Perfect.
Okay.
Wow. Here we go, guys. Locked in.
Okay, first things first, I wanted to get your thoughts on The Devil Wears Prada 2 because it's what we've all been seeing against, I have to say, my own will. I don't want
Literally.
Okay, but I wanted to get your thoughts on all of the teasers and all of the reveals, the costume reveals. We know that that production is doing this. So they've been teasing us with Anne Hathaway walking around in New York. We saw Meryl Streep wearing. And by the way, I don't know if we want to do a disclaimer that there will be some spoilers. I don't want to spoil anything because I myself, right.
Yeah. I mean, it's on the internet. So if
It's
you're not on the internet and you're listening to this podcast, that's insane to me.
How did you find us?
How did you find us? Like, please write in, let us know. I think it's tfrpod@gmail.com. But yeah, if you haven't seen the images, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know yeah. Look into it, babe. Like, yeah. Okay, so real bad. That's all I gotta say. It looks real bad.
Really?
It looks really, the outfits are, I don't know. I just don't want to, and that's the thing, like, because of our culture and we're dealing with this, obviously we've talked about the American, I almost said American Pod story, and I'm like, oh no, that was our episode title. American Love Story. Like, we've seen those like, we just know too much. Like you said, it's like almost like against our will at this point, that just being online and being in this industry and like paying attention to the culture within fashion and style. It's like, there is no element of surprise anymore.
No, there isn't.
And it kind of like, it's a bummer. And not to say that I want to go to the movies to watch Devil Wears Prada 2 and be upset at the costumes.
Okay.
But I am now. Do you know, like, whether then or now? Like, yeah, weird choices. I can't remember the designer's name.
Molly Rogers.
Yes, so Patricia Fields, one of her like mentees, who is also designing And Just Like That, the Sex and the City spinoff, that some wild choices there as well. Just like, again, I don't understand. I don't understand some of these like hiring choices. I really don't. And so, because of something that's so beloved, right? And like, people still talk about are you wearing the Chanel boots? You know what I mean? Like, there was, just because it's Patricia Field's mentee doesn't make a Patricia Field. Do you know what I mean? Like, can we like give it up to like some younger people, like younger designers, different designers? It doesn't always have to be within the network. It doesn't always have to be like just because someone is attached to or close to an epic designer doesn't mean that they necessarily are. Or not to, diminish this person's work, because I really only know from her from And Just Like That. And obviously the costumes, what we've seen here for Devil Wears Prada too.
And we're talking about Molly
But
Rogers, just if anyone didn't catch
yeah,
that the first time.
and it just like, I, yeah, no, 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 no. And I don't know the script. I don't know what the character, how their evolution has been since we last seen them.
Well,
But from
I
what
would,
I've seen, girl, it's a mess.
yeah. So, yeah. So, major spoiler alert, because I have been reading about the doings of, like how production went into play and the whole plot. So this time around, we see Meryl Streep's character, Miranda Priestley, struggling with a diminishing business. She faces the hardships of publication in today's world, right? We know this to be true based on what we see. Readership is down, subscriptions are down, Vogue is now, well, and of course everyone knows the story now. If you love fashion and like you said, the lore, uh, the Devil Wears Prada it mirrors one of Anna Wintour's closest um, assistants. I forget, Lauren Weinberg, I think was her name. And anyway, so now we see
Oh yeah, I don't remember to look
yeah.
it up.
So now we see Miranda Priestley in a struggling publication. Runway is the name that's supposed to be like Vogue, and then Anne Hathaway's character, Andy Sachs. The thing that, of course, like you said, there is no element of surprise anymore, and I think this kind of it plays into our need to know everything all the time. You know what I mean? Like, we don't like, I think as a society, I can only speak for myself. I don't want to generalize, but
Hmm.
generally speaking, we don't like to live in obscurity. We don't like things that are unknown. So of course, like the mega fandom will come out and spot everything, right? So from the costume design aspects, Andy Sachs' character is walking around New York. She has this terrible sundress on, but what is that? But she's carrying a Fendi bag, and she has a tote bag that says Runway on it. So
Hmm.
I was reading this article on Marie Claire, and the journalist, she was also saying the same thing, kind of like, "Yo, I don't want to know." Like I like, Andy Sachs famously threw her cell phone into the fountain in Paris as a rejection of the fashion industry and what that represented, right? So what? Is she back? Like, what was that? What was all of that for? You know what I mean? Like, I think,
Yeah.
I don't know. It almost feels like I don't want to be disappointed, like you said. I don't want to go to and I saw I saw the Devil Wears Prada in theaters when it came out in 2006 because
Hmm.
I was a senior in high school, and I remember loving it. I'm like, I didn't know what all of this was yet, but I'm like, oh, cool. The fucking outfits, like Patricia Fields killed it, and
Yeah.
I was some fun facts. Um, so I was reading a list of just like points about the original movie, and so Anne Hathaway wasn't the first choice to be to play Andy Sachs. It was the role the execs really wanted Rachel McAdams to do it. And Rachel McAdams said that she wanted to stray away from becoming too mainstream. So she turned down the role of Andy Sachs. And then I think it was, who was it? Not Kate Hudson. Kate Hudson was also approached to play the role, but there was some timing like schedule like conflict, and
Hmm.
she later regretted not being able to do it because she saw how well the movie did. Anna Wintour did watch the film, and they asked her, they're like, so what did you think about it? And she said, oh, she said, that was entertainment. That doesn't actually happen in the magazine, like alluding to Vogue.
Yeah.
But yes, Patricia Fields, I mean, she made the fashion in the film, in the first film, is so tied into what we love about the storyline, down to like the best friend scenes, where Andy's best friend is like gooning over the Marc Jacobs that the Vogue closet has given, I mean the runway closet has given to her. And another fun fact before I forget. So the original film actually had difficulties in securing places to shoot because remember when there was the Met Ball, they
Yeah.
right. So they couldn't do any, like the Metropolitan Museum was completely out of the question because of the ties that all of these places had to Anna Wintour. So, no one in the industry, first of all, no one at Vogue wanted to talk. And secondly, no one that was associated with Anna Wintour wanted to talk. And that went from the institutions that, host the galas to places where Anna like hangs out. And
Mm.
there was some insider information. Someone from production for The Devil Wears Prada snuck in to the Vogue offices and took snapshots of Anna Wintour's office. So what we see in the film, in The Devil Wears Prada, Anna Wintour's office is an almost exact replica. I mean, Miranda Priestley's, they're so interchangeable. Miranda Priestley's
I
office.
know, right? It's like,
I mean, we all know. Um, Miranda Priestley's office is almost a direct replica of Anna Wintour's office, and
whoa.
rumor has it that Anna Wintour, upon seeing the film, redecorated her office after seeing that.
No. Whoa. Whoa, that's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's really funny. Wait,
Yeah,
okay. What I need to look at my timeline. Okay, so you graduated in 2006. That's when
yes,
the first movie came out.
yeah.
When did the September issues come out?
The September issue. Let me look.
September issues movie 2009.
Mm,
Okay. 2006. We're guesstimating here obviously.
uh-huh.
So the office that we see in the September issues is the updated office then,
is
essentially? It's
yeah,
like what?
yeah. Some real investigative work.
Yeah, getting into it. I
Oh my
know.
god.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
But
That's incredible.
I like what you said. Let's give other people a chance. Like I I love Patricia,
Dude.
right? I love Patricia Fields, Molly Rogers. Like kudos to her, for landing the job. I'm never gonna say like, oh, but I think yes. Like yeah, I know. Let's let's give
Like
other.
me?
I'm like, why did she get the job? It's like, no, girl, in this economy.
Well, we know why she got the job. Like we know why she got the job.
Yeah, she's Patricia Fields' protege. She worked with Patricia on Sex in the City, and now she's the head costume designer for the reboot and Just Like That. And Patricia
Mhm.
Fields also did The Devil Wears Prada, and now Molly Rogers is doing The Devil Wears Prada too. Yeah, I'm like, someone has to. I don't know, but again, I guess to draw a parallel, this is kind of how it happens, like
Mhm.
with corporations. I mean, that's a corporate job already. Like there's no way of
Yeah.
looking at it, and corporations usually hire from within. They hire their interns, or they hire people that have a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. I
that
just like the costumes on and Just Like That are so bad. Like they're just it's like missing it just like and let alone like I it's a reboot and there's already so much that we're having to contest with inviting these characters back into our lives and these shows and whatever, but it's, the costumes, right? Like as character they just lack the magic that they had in the original show. So seeing what the costumes that we've seen in these like paparazzi shots and the Instagrams and whatever from Devil Wears Prada 2, it feels the same. And maybe that's speaking, maybe that speaks to the bigger issue of, you know, revisits, right? And coming back and there's no new material and whatever. That's like a whole much
Yeah.
larger conversation, but I don't know, like it's just there's some magic missing for me, at least in what we've seen so far, and against our will. Yeah, the sundress was a wild choice, and even like one of the Miranda Priestley outfits I saw, I was just like, what is that?
Which one?
Like,
Which
what is
one?
that?
Which one?
It was one with like a belt, and I just looked at it and I was like, this just doesn't this doesn't resonate, and I don't know. But we'll see, right?
Right.
And
Well,
we'll keep having to report
against our will.
against our will.
Yeah, there was. I saw there was like a crop jacket that Meryl Streep was wearing as Miranda Priestley, where she's like waving from the offices, and I
With
keep
all the
with all the
tassels.
tassels. It's like it's Dries Van Noten, right? And I'm like, all right,
Yeah, which I
cool.
love.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. But
But
so the movies, yeah, I know, but the movies set out to come out. It's coming out next May, so it's gonna be a while from now. And I mean, I'm excited. I love the first movie, like, and it's the cerulean monologue. Has been quoted and it's been spoofed
uh
and it's been cited a million times now. That we'll see. My I think my biggest fear is, when things come across as trying too hard, like there's no natural aspect of, like you said, almost like akin to the magic that certain movies have, and then the reboots usually like they're lackluster or they're predictable at best, and I don't, I don't know. I don't know. Already with
yeah.
and just like that, I haven't seen a single episode of the franchise or the reboot. But I think having Kim Cattrall's character Samantha Jones missing already is, come on, like that's such an integral part of the equation that made the first cast work. And
Yep.
who's like,
Yep.
we need that, and um
hmm
yeah. I remember
Yeah, I fell off.
if oh, you did? Yeah. I've seen
I did. Yeah, I watched seasons 1 and 2,
Yeah.
and then I I was like, the outfits are so bad.
Mm,
Again, like without Samantha being there, the new characters I just like wasn't really like connecting to. Even some of the character choices with the three main characters, I was like confused by. Yeah, so I haven't watched actually any of this new season because it's just like I don't need to. There's many, many more things that I'm interested in watching. So yeah, I fell off. But and also just from the looks that I've seen, again, like with, paying attention and being like in the industry and with fashion culture, it's like I've seen some of the looks, like the big hat and like all this other shit. And I'm just like, it's not, no. Just no. Just no.
yeah.
Anyways,
Well, so what do you want to introduce?
you were really on top of, I mean, you're always on top of it,
Yeah.
but you were really on top of it this week, I feel like, because you were like texting me and DMing me. It's like, it's always that thing of where it's like, oh, when you're having conversations with friends on like every platform.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but something that you sent me that I had this like, I was like torn because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. And
Oh,
then I kind of like looked into it. And then I was like, you know what, girl, good for you.
Oh, what happened? What
But
happened? Tell me.
the article that you sent me about what's her name? Christine Hunsaker,
Hmm.
who's the CEO and founder of that brand CaaStle, which is
Hmm.
CaaStle, which I had never heard of it before.
Right.
I was not familiar. So when you sent me the article, I was like, wait, what is this? And I started to look into it.
My God.
Um,
Hmm.
so CaaStle, CaaStle, uh, used to be called something else. I think it was like Gwenny B or something,
Yes.
but started off as a plus size sort of like clothing rental. So almost like a Rent the Runway or Pickle or like one of these other, rental fashion apps, tech related companies. But this woman founded this company. She had a bunch of investors coming in, and over the course of, I think it was like 3 years, is what it said, basically cheated her investors out of almost, I think it was over $300 million.
300 million. Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a testament to a woman. I don't know anything about this lady, the CEO, but this is a testament to a lady who's probably never had to struggle in her life because because the audacity to steal $300 million knowing damn well that you can make shit shake with a fraction of that, the fucking
Yep.
greed, like the greed and that. But anyway, yeah, that's why I was like, I need to go down a rabbit hole to see who she is because she's literally the Elizabeth Holmes of fashion tech.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God. Okay. So, yeah. And there's part of me, here's the thing. From what I've read, it's basically that she was falsifying records. Basically, the charges that were brought to her, she was arrested, I think, a couple weeks ago. She surrendered to, who was it, the SEC or, the cops, essentially. She turned herself over, but she was brought in under wire fraud charges, um, falsifying documents, like basically it's like a little bundle of like all these charges that this woman was brought under with. So
Yeah.
from what I understand and what I've read, um, is that it doesn't seem like she cheated her customers. It seemed like everything that she was creating, she was basically like telling her investors that the numbers were much better than they actually were. And she used investment money that was supposed to buy back discounted shares from other investors. It was like this whole like scheme where she had told, I think, like her third or fourth round investors, like, okay, well, if you give me, this money, I'm going to buy discounted shares from the old investors because we're growing, things are expanding. So your return on investment is going to be much higher, yada, yada. So it seems like she didn't cheat her customers. And that is, fine with me because I looked into her investors, and one of her main investors was Peter Thiel, who, uh, he's a German conservative businessman. And he's the one that basically like has backed Trump, has backed JD Vance, basically like strong armed Trump into bringing on JD Vance as his vice president. There's a lot of like shady shit with Peter Thiel. So I was like, you know what? If Peter Thiel lost some money here, not to get like super political with this, but like,
Yeah.
I was like, you go, girl. So and yeah, initially I was like, whoa, she's like the Elizabeth Holmes of like fashion tech. And then when I started looking into it and I saw some of her investors, I was like, oh, if she didn't fuck like the little people, like her customers, her, people that rented from her, etc. Like, okay, she fucked over Peter Thiel and a bunch of like investors. That sucks, but also
I
I'm kind of
know.
into it.
I mean, the thing, and I hate to be this guy, but crime never pays. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Like how, and it's the same thing if you followed the Elizabeth Holmes situation, it's just like, yeah, we know like these things, you're right, like crime never pays, it never really works out.
never works
It never
out.
really works out. So
It's
like
a house of cards.
how did she literally, and like
Huh?
where did she think this was going to go? Because
Right.
apparently the money that she, you know, had said like, oh, I'm going to buy these discounted shares and whatever, she was using essentially to like keep the business quote unquote afloat, even though it was in like really really bad debt. um and even up until her arrest, apparently, there were other investors trying to like bridge loan so the company could stay afloat. So it's just, and what was really wild to me too is that like months and months ago, the board of this company, she like came out with it because one of the board members was like, hey, this paperwork doesn't look straight. Like, what's going on with these numbers? And then essentially it all started to like, you know, pulling the little yarn of like, oh, this is a big old mess. And she came to the board and was like, hey, this is what's going on. Da-da-da. The board did not report any of these like mishandlings or any of this drama to the investors. So the investors found out like months later than they should have. And it's just like, okay, why did the board not fire her immediately? Why was she still in this position and making decisions for this company literally almost up until her arrest? Like,
Yeah.
it's the power of a white woman, I'm telling you. Yo.
Anna Delvey, you know?
Anna Delvey, Elizabeth Holmes, and
Yeah.
Christine Hunsaker.
Yup. Mm-hmm.
What?
No, yeah,
What?
that's why,
God.
I have such a difficult time getting behind Anna Delvey because I'm just like, incidents like this, like no POC would be celebrated for scamming people, and then given a reality show and then given all of these things, and now she's being represented by
Yeah.
Kelly Catrone, and I'm just like, okay, I mean it. And then not again, not to be this guy, but it's like I know that um Anna Delvey could care less about the image that she portrays, but the message that this sends out to society at large, it's like, well, look, she got away with it. What can I get away with,
What can I do?
and what kills me also is that Elizabeth Holmes, Anna Delvey, and what's her name? Huckinson? Uh,
Christine Hunsaker
Christine
or
Hunsaker.
Hunsaker. Yeah.
They're really smart women, really intelligent people, just really intelligent people. And I'm like, wow, I'm like, I remember this thing where I was taught when I was a kid. My cousin, one of my closest cousins, troublemaker, right? And my aunt would always tell him, like, why don't you use that intelligence for good? Like, instead of always
Yeah.
like getting into trouble and causing all this shit, why don't you apply that? And it's like Elizabeth Holmes, right? It's like, it's interesting we're even talking about her in this in a fashion podcast, but it's like she had an amazing plan to really help out the general population with medical ailments and mapping out like genetic, like like genomes and whatnot, to figure out where diseases came from and how to eradicate them, right? And look what happened,
Yeah. Yeah.
the greed of it all. So um
Agreed.
I think with Miss Hunsaker here, I think Pandora's box has just been opened, and we're gonna three. Come on, bro. $300 million is a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and we're gonna see there's probably people that were in her pockets and people that she
True.
was, and who knows what type of lifestyle she was leading with all of this. That's why it's like, that's why I'm saying, like, crime never pays, because eventually, like, a deal like this, like a Bernie Madoff, like, you don't, how, like, something's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
when you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, like, Peter's gonna find out.
Peter Thiel is gonna find out. Oh my god. Oh
Wow.
my god. But yeah, I like really, it was so funny. You sent me that article and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I got into it and I was like, oh. But yeah, the audacity of a white woman. It actually reminds me saying that talking about like scammers. Do you remember? And she's been on my heart recently, but I've seen TikToks, a lot of TikToks of her recently, of like basically like mashups of her old videos. But do you remember Joanne the scammer?
Of
Do
course.
you remember those videos? That
Yes.
comedian Brandon, I think
Yes.
his name was Brandon.
Yes.
Like we got to put Joanne up on the like Mount Washington of
Oh.
white women scammers. So obviously Brandon is a
Yeah.
black man, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
missed her. I have missed her so much.
Yeah.
And so it's really been kind of funny. Like every now and again, like somebody will like repost one of her old, like one of the old vines or like one of the
Mhm.
old, videos. And the amount of joy that it brings me, yeah, Joanne the scammer. If y'all, I hope that y'all know who she is. If not, please look into it because she was an icon.
Yeah.
And I really wish she would come back because I feel like we as a society really need her in this
Yeah.
moment.
I think that, yeah, I think the charm to her comedy was that she was portraying a rich white woman that looked down on others, and I love, yeah, she hit it big. She was hanging out with Rihanna, Amber Rose, had deals with, like, makeup companies,
Yeah.
and was appearing in publications and shit. And I think her mother passed away. Like, the comedian,
Oh, yes.
his mom passed away, and she, like, couldn't recover from that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope
Uh,
she's okay.
I know.
But oh,
What a time.
it
What a
was.
time.
I know it was a good time to, like, live on the internet. um. Okay, I wanted to talk to you. We're talking about the industry, right? I wanted to talk to you about another deal that's been floating around. LVMH did you know this? LVMH is looking to sell off Marc Jacobs, the brand. Yeah. So,
Whoa.
for $1 billion.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, here's my question
Mhm.
because oftentimes the beauty segment of like a brand will be separate from the fashion. So is beauty included in this deal? Do you know? Because Marc Jacobs Beauty is massive.
Right.
Massive.
People forget that Marc Jacobs Beauty is a thing,
Yeah.
right? And yeah,
Yeah. And
it,
the perfume, Daisy, the perfume. Remember when Daisy came out? Oh my God, people went fucking crazy.
what
But
year
yeah,
was
the
that?
perfume, the makeup. Oh, it was a while ago. It was like when it was like heyday for sure when he released Daisy. But yeah, I want to know, does this include beauty? Does this include perfume? Does it include, is Heaven a different venture completely or is that tied to brand?
A lot of
Wow.
question. Yeah, a lot of
Whoa.
bitch, for $1 billion. I need Mark himself to be like tapping his fingernails and, like, yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
But
Whoa.
I like that you're talking about beauty, because a lot of people don't know that perfume has the high, just perfume, well, perfume and cosmetics has the highest profit margin of any product that any label can create. Because if you really think about it,
Mm-hmm.
right, and this is for our listeners, because I know you know, but like if you really think about it, right, it's like, how do you think Victor and Rolf can produce these elaborate couture collections and and three people a season wear Victor and Rolf, and it's usually at Cannes or like at the Oscars or something like,
Mm-hmm.
hello, Flower Bomb, how do you
Flower bomb.
how do you think Gautier, like after all of these years, has maintained not simply to stay afloat, but it became a success story? Like people weren't really talking about Gautier in the mid 2000s like we are now.
No.
Gautier is a legend and like stands in the pantheon of the best, designers in like the 21st century. But Le Mal, fuck Le Mal, like,
Mm-hmm.
and then all iterations of Le Mal after. And yeah,
Margiela.
replica,
Margiela
the
perfume is
perfume.
huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
So yeah, I mean, it isn't, I haven't delved too much into the subject or like what is going to be included in the deal. It just came out.
Yeah.
Reports of a trade deal have been rumored since 2024, but it's been confirmed now. Like it's for sure it's happening. And the potential buyers include the Reebok owner, Authentic Brands, Stone owner, Blue Star Alliance, and Vera Wang, parent WHP Global. So we'll see.
Brookstone, huh?
Brookstone. when
What?
yeah, like when Brookstone starts selling Daisy diffusers, Daisy room diffuser.
Literally. Literally.
Yeah,
Whoa. Oh, wow. $1 billion.
yeah.
The Reebok one is weird. I mean, they're all weird to me. But wait, who's the Reebok one again? What was the parent company?
Reebok was authentic. Oh, Reebok owner, Authentic Brands. Mm-hmm.
Authentic Brands, yeah.
So we'll have to see what
Huh.
else Authentic Brands owns. But yeah, the wall, and then this is all reported by the Wall Street Journal. So
Wild.
yeah, I mean,
Wild.
remember Tom Ford sold his company for
Mm-hmm.
like a crazy amount, like in the billions.
Yeah,
Same thing with
sure do.
Versace. Versace actually lost money, like in their like I have to look at the reports again, but when the company sold, when Michael Kors I think bought it, and then now like it's owned by like Capri Holdings, and but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. Uh,
Prada.
Oh yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
Prada bot. Mm-hmm.
God, I remember that. Oh my God,
Yeah, which I'm like into.
the memes of Miuccia Prada in like a yellow like bust down. Good times.
I know, I loved all those. Was it Saint Hoax or who did those like videos of them like I think I reposted one. There was one where it was like the two women and they were like dancing and there was like all this confetti. It was like an AI like yeah, I was like good for them. I'm happy for them. Man, okay, $1 billion.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it includes beauty because if not, that's a wild that that would be a very very wild price for only the fashion part of the company.
You know what? It has to include beauty because the fashion, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I love it, but garments cost a lot of money to make, especially if you're trying to make something good, you know? So, and Tom Ford
I
sold.
don't I don't
uh,
know how well it sells too.
Yeah, yeah. Tom Ford's fashion brand was sold to Estee Lauder for 2.8 billion. So the deal included the Tom Ford brand.
Billion.
Yeah, the deal included the Tom Ford brand itself as well as the eyewear license held by Marcolin. The transaction is reported to have closed in the first half of 2023. So this was 2 years ago. And
Yeah.
I
I
was
remember covering it on this podcast. Yeah, we talked about it.
and yeah, I think those
Holy.
I think those are like the topics that I wanted to discuss. There was that one that was like, I sent you
Mm,
something else too on your IG about, I think it was like a post from like
yeah.
the business of fashion and how they're like starting to make like what we wear into metrics. Do you remember? It was like keywords and
Yes.
like
It was essentially, and I saw somebody else had posted this. I think actually I saw Rachel Tastian had posted it on her stories
mm,
too, and
mhm.
she was like, "Oh my
Yeah,
God, this is brilliant."
yeah.
Essentially, yeah, it's like the internetification of like the terms that we use
Do-
within fashion. So,
dopamine culture.
yes, so it's like designers are now like curators or whatever culture, and it's just like it's just so the whole curator thing, or even, or excuse me, creator, I think it was what it was. The whole like influencer to creator, like, uh, just, I don't know, guys. Like, what's happening here?
Well, science to back it up. Okay, interestingly enough, I was reading this article about there is no correlation between brain chemistry and depression. So this actually has major well, it could shake up the way that we view SSRIs because as a culture, especially here in the United States, we love our SSRIs. But
Yeah,
now with this new report, it states that, and I'll like we can I'll send you the article later. But it states that basically
yeah,
there is no correlation. Like serotonin levels have nothing to do with how depressed you feel, or it's like but it does shed a light, like I said, on our dependency on these medications to alter our moods, but also in the lack of uh maybe this will instill better practices in therapy. Like talk therapy has been proven to be very useful in people with depression and anxiety. So this goes hand in hand with what we're currently seeing in like what because we're talking about fashion. So the rise of dopamine culture, right? So it's like
hmm,
that hit of dopamine. We know that this is why social media works so well because it's like gambling, right? It's like when you're at a casino and you see that money like go up and then you see like numbers rise, it like does something to your brain where you're like expecting the reward. So remember when Instagram announced that they were like hiding likes or taking away likes.
hmm,
It was a response to the depression that people were having when their posts weren't performing as well. So it's like it's indicative to like this comparison that we fall into, right? When you're like, fuck, like I really like that. Why did no one else? And so
yeah,
with this
yeah,
with this dopamine culture, it's like the TikTokification of how we ingest media. And I was talking to my friend Esteban yesterday, and we were talking about this report that came out a couple of months ago. I remember reading it. I think it was from like Forbes, where there was a
hmm,
study done where overall global intelligence has decreased, and glo-
yeah, yeah.
and
No surprises here.
I love how we laugh. Like, why is that funny? Why was that funny? Like, no shit, Sherlock. so
Good heavens.
so here's the here's the breakdown from the infographic posted by the Business of Fashion, right? So designers
Yeah.
uh they 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 basically traced how fashion started, right, as slow to now how it's transitioned to dopamine culture. And designers,
Mhm.
slow culture in design, in the design world, would be the haute couture, right? The couturiers. So
Mhm.
fast culture would be the image makers, right? And this is still in the realm of designing. Now,
Mhm.
dopamine cultures, you have to be a provocateur, right?
Yeah. You have
Collections,
to catch attention. You have to like,
collections as a whole,
yeah.
right? Collections as a whole, seasonal collections. We talked about this in our last podcast, right? Where Marc Jacobs was one of the people during the pandemic to ask of the industry, like, hey, maybe we should be doing less. Maybe we should be scaling back. Nothing
Mhm.
happened. So
Yeah. And
collections.
now he's selling his company for a
Well,
billion dollars.
good for him. Bow out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bow
Yeah.
out. Shit. So collections went from seasonal collections to capsule collections to now drops, right? It's like, what's a fucking drop? Like, what? Why do you,
Ugh.
you know? And it's interesting too, like as a small business owner, having to compete with this. It's like, shit, okay, great. Like, our pieces aren't moving as fast as I would want. We need to have a collection drop. We need to have you know what I mean? And it's a little, it's daunting, you know, to be a part of this dopamine culture only, and to service
Mhm.
it, you know, to service this dopamine culture. And I did want to talk about last. There's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven different categories in this diagram, but the criticism, right? Because you mentioned
Yeah.
Rachel Tashjian. I love her. I love the like she she's a critic. Rachel Tashjian is a critic.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
criticism went from what we used to read, right? Publications, newspapers, and then that was slow culture. Slow culture evolved into fast culture. Style.com came into play. And
Mhm.
now dopamine culture is the hot takes. Hot take, da-da-da-da. It's like that's not a criticism. That's just you like recycling information, and it's like it's it's almost like, you know, when that type of content where people, it's like the content creator and they are talking about something or they're creating a video, and you'll have someone else take that and then put it in a green screen, and then it's them in front of that just making faces, like reacting to the reactor, and that's what's expected to go viral.
Mhm.
That, like, what? You're not, you know.
So I have a hot take on hot takes.
Dopamine culture.
It and this is how so this whole dopamine culture, but specific to hot takes, right? Like the way that it's starting to affect like what we do as stylists
Oh,
is
wow.
it's like yeah, and it's the same as like, you know, on the designer end or, you know, it's all it's like you got to like you got to hit it, it has to go viral, it has to da, da, da. Like we want the attention, it's all attention based, right?
Oh,
So I'm not even kidding you. I was in a fitting recently, and uh normally in fittings it's just myself, sometimes my assistant, and then client. With celebrity fittings, sometimes their assistant will be in, sometimes their publicist or manager or, you know, like people from their team will be, you know, at the fitting as well. But I was in a fitting recently with a celebrity client, and I'm not even kidding you, the the first thing as we started to try things on, there was a team member there. And the team member said, well, I mean, the goal here is to get on, what's that guy's name? It's Nikki Bell,
okay.
right? The guy that does like all the hot takes on TikTok and Instagram, where he's just like, flop, hate it. It's just like those like quick bites. So this person in our fitting was like, well, the dream is to, as long as Nikki Bell likes it, we know that we've done good. And I was like, what? Like that. It was really interesting to me to like hear that, like said out loud in a way. Like we
Right,
all know,
right.
like, and we all like when we're dressing a celebrity for carpet or the Met or, you know, an event, yes, of course, we would love to get on Check the Tag and get credited and people like it. Like that's why we're here to service our clients
Right.
in support of their projects. But to hear it sort of like dwindle down into like this little thing of like, well, Nikki Bell needs to cover it. And it's just like, that's what the goal is now. This is crazy to me.
That's
This is crazy. And I just stood there for a second and I was like,
sorry.
whoa. But like literally, do you know what I mean? And so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And when you sent me this thing, I was just like, yeah, ugh, it's fucking depressing.
Oh man, I love that you say that with a laugh.
I,
Yeah. I mean,
you know,
multiple things can be true at once, right? Like I need to be reminded of that, because I feel that the way that I can contribute to the, like lowering of the global intelligence is by staying informed myself, by really, that's why, you know what I mean? It's like,
yes.
that's why this week I was like particularly on it because I'm like, wait, like let's teach, right? It's like you and I come on this podcast first and foremost to embody these characters, right? That just like love to talk about fashion. But also I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, like what are we what's the knowledge that we're going to be then, ingesting and then like handing out, like for people,
Yeah.
whoever
Yeah.
listens, to then go and do the research themselves. Like, hey, listen, like this is happening. Like maybe keep up to date with it because all of it is connected, right? It's like all of these like dopamine culture, which could be also seen as a form of greed, right? It's like I want more dopamine. I don't have it enough, right? And then
Yeah.
what we're seeing also, all of that extends to what you said, right? Like the pressures that people in the industry, ourselves, the people working in this industry, are faced with by, fuck, like, I have to get my client's attention. It doesn't even become anything of a, like it's surpassed the simple fact that we're here to provide a service. Now I have to be an
Mhm.
entertainer. Now I have to, what? Like when did it get like this? I mean, we're not gonna be here for a long time. Like, like, thankfully,
Yeah.
like, who knows, and everything is also subject to change. Like, it could, like, it might not happen, but shit, Instagram could be wiped out tomorrow. Like TikTok, right? We're still on sort of
Oh my
the
God.
cliff edge of, is it gonna survive? Who's gonna buy it? Like, so
Yeah.
who knows? Who really knows? But I think it's interesting to also be mindful for fledgling entrepreneurs that if styling, costume designing, vintage selling, whatever you're selling, right, to be also in the loop with how the market is reacting. So yeah, and what people in the market are doing, shit. So
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Do you think anyone's buying Miu Miu?
talk about an example of dopamine culture, right? Like,
Good heavens. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's again reflective of that, right? It's like how many people didn't like jumped on board to talk about Kylie Jenner and the Miu Miu campaign. It's like, and it's been a week, and now
Hmm.
we're like, all right, well, what's next? You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
I know. Literally.
the
Like,
Walmez, right? Walmez and the Workin, the fake Birkin and the fake like Hermes.
yep.
It's ironic that for everyone that got on TikTok claiming this to be the biggest fuck you to corporations and to luxury, it, what happened to that? What happened to those bags? They're like the Walmez and the Workin just ended up in a landfill. Like, so what was that all up? What was
Hmm.
that all for? You know?
Well, as we wrap up,
Yes.
I don't think that we've really like delved into this, but I feel like it's maybe again, and it's like what we were just talking about, like dopamine and
Mhm.
now no one's really even talking about Kylie and Miu Miu and whatever, but with trends, etc., that we hate to discuss on this podcast. But um something that I realized, I think it was yesterday. I was like, oh, we haven't really gotten into the world of Labubu.
Okay.
And the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because I was looking at this thing where they're calling them like
The
Lafufus,
fake Labubus. Yup.
the fake Labubus that you can go down to like Canal Street, and I'm sure that they're down at like Santee here in LA, I'm sure. But yeah, this internet creator person, Taylor Lorenz, I don't know if you follow her or not. She's pretty amazing. But
Her name sounds
she
familiar.
did this whole thing where she went and she was like, I'm going down to Canal and I'm gonna get a Lafufu.
Uh-huh.
She like went down to get her fake Labubu, but I have not partaken in Labubu. I think I'm maybe I'm just like too old, or also like I'd rather spend that money on, I don't know, like food or something. But have you bought a Labubu? Are you like, what's the House of Pachuga's thoughts on because I feel like the girls would be like really into it, but
um,
maybe I'm wrong.
Sophia,
Yeah.
I have two assistants. Sophia is the one that partakes in, the those like niche, well, niche to me, because
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of niche to be a Labubu collector. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Oh, I think
um,
so.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I love the discourse around this product because it's similarly to the lipstick index, right? It's like when we're in a recession, you can measure what's happening in the market based on what women are buying. And if women are still purchasing lipsticks, then like, expensive lipsticks, then it's like, and nothing else, right? Then it means that the money, like they still want to be a part of this fantasy, but it's still like it's an indicator of how much they're also saving. Now,
Yeah.
with Labubus, I love the analytical process behind this little creature. You know what I mean? Because it's like, what does it represent? Da da da. Da. And it's like, millennials. We've been given this economy of like where we cannot buy houses, right? I mean, things are changing, but
Yeah. Of
the
a burning trash can.
right, and with with these Labubus, I think, my premise is live and let live. Like, if they're making you happy and they're like, they're a thing that you want to collect, then go ahead and do it. They're not for me. I've never been, like you said, I'd rather spend my money elsewhere and, yeah, live your fantastical life. I think the Lafufu is very interesting because who's making these fakes? I think that's a bigger question. Like, are they getting paid a fair wage? Who, And oh, also on the topic
Yeah.
of price point, right? It's like Labubus retail for $26 each, I think. Now, a Lafufu will probably be like what, like half of that, maybe a little less. And
There, it's the same price. No, it's the same price.
wow,
Taylor, on her thing, she was like, I literally just paid, she's like, it was almost the same price for a Lafufu. And she like, I saw this thing where they like unpacked it and
yeah,
she was like, oh, I got one with open eyes. Cause also all the packages have like been opened. It's really funny. But she was like, oh, I want one with like open eyes because some of them have like closed eyes. And she was like, he assured me that I would get one with open eyes. And so she's like, unpack it with me. And so she like unpacks it. She's like, oh, it has open eyes. She's like, I just paid like the same amount of money for a fake. And she was like, also the quality is like shit. It looks like off like immediate whatever dopamine hit, like they look similar, but like the quality of like the fur is like really bad. But that it's like essentially it's she said it's the same price, which I blew my mind because yeah, you would think that a Lafufu would be maybe like $10. Oh, the
yeah.
Lafufus are like 20-25 bucks.
That's wild because again, it's like the indicator, right? Of what. I mean, if it's a fake, it should cost less. I found a fake Chanel belt the other day for
Yeah,
$40. Why would I pay $400 for a fake Chanel knowing that it's,
400.
yeah, like why would I? Like that's wild, you know? Because
Yeah,
that's cost for a Chanel belt. Like in the resale market, like that's cost, and then you add your retail to that.
yeah.
No, that's crazy. And I mean, I was gonna get into the price point of like, well, you know, maybe people have different price points. Like to someone, $26 is a lot of money. You know, that's like a gym membership somewhere, or like a
I
lunch.
was
You know, I mean, on the cheaper side, yes,
literally.
but that could be a lot of money for someone. Like bus passes are now, I don't know, like $60 a month, you know, in LA or more.
Mhm.
Um, so what? I'm gonna spend my money on two Lafufus and not take public transport, babe. Like make it make sense. But like I think but you know,
I mean, yeah, for like a it's a glorified keychain, right? It's like a isn't it's just like a it's like a purse charm.
yeah.
Is that essential? Is that what they started out as, or were they like something different and then somebody just put it on their purse? I don't know anything about it other than like
Well,
a few of my friends have started to collect them, but
yeah.
yeah.
No, I have no
I'm
idea.
like, I would like a Loewe bag charm,
Hey, listen, different price points,
but I'm
right?
not paying 500.
Right. Right. I mean, Hermes bag charms are like they go for thousands, you know? And
Yeah.
I think, you know, it definitely does say something about the human condition where we will literally buy anything. Like almost like
Yeah.
we will eat anything, you know? So because I think of myself and the purchases that I've made, I'm like, to someone out there, me paying like 48 grand for plastic bustier is crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it means something to the buyer, you know, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So buy your labubus. I
Mhm.
think I'll
Yeah.
never tell
Yeah.
anyone like not.
Send us your photos.
Oh my god. Funny. Damn, we covered
Oh my
everything.
God. We did. Oh my God. I know. We're like at our hour. I was like, okay, before we wrap up, we need to talk about Labubus. Yeah, Labubu was also, it was a question on the New York Times like weekly news questionnaire, like the quiz that they do. I don't know if you ever do those.
No.
But yeah, it was yeah, and so it like pinged me again. I was like, okay, I want to bring up Labubus
My
because it's
god.
like officially, I mean, they've been around, but like,
Yeah.
and that's kind of again like that's what's so interesting to me. And same with like the Sunny Angel like whole thing. And even like, I mean, thinking back to when we were young, like Beanie Babies and shit, but like Labubus have been around for apparently like a good amount of time. And it wasn't until like one of the girls from Blackpink like had it on her purse and then Rihanna had one. And then it was like all of a sudden now they're like, it's the amount of money that this company has made in the last like 6 months is insane.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
insane. They could probably buy Marc Jacobs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
What
now
if like Labubu like Labubu Holdings bought?
Labubu Holdings. That's fucked up. But yeah,
That'd be crazy.
it
That'd be
it
crazy.
it did become a billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Is it any different?
no.
Yeah.
And the people that are selling the Pop Mart items, because it's all from this one
Crazy.
company called Pop Mart, they themselves are fucking making bank. One of my clients, he stopped selling vintage
Mm-hmm.
clothing to sell Pop Mart pieces, like Pop Mart little keychains. And he's like, girl, I made 20 grand in like 2 months. I'm like, yo, I want in on this. Yeah. So yeah, I'm telling you, man, follow the money.
I was gonna say, I was like,
Yeah.
I've been looking for an out. Maybe
Yeah.
this is
Yum. And now this Labubu here. Have
crazy.
you seen that one woman on TikTok? She's like, I'm
I
holding
know, right? Oh
the
my God.
world's only 24 karat Labubu. Oh, you haven't seen her? Oh my God. Well, your level of brain rot has yet to
No,
reach.
but it's gonna pop up on my shit now.
Oh, right.
No.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Good. Hilarious.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, episode 8 of season 3. We've made it. We're 2 months in. This is so fun. Yeah. Thanks everybody for listening. And we'll see you next week.
Yes. Next week. Bye.